On that note, I want to now introduce our General Secretary. And let me tell you, I don't know if you got a Thursday press conference or where you can be today. But I can guarantee you, whatever he does on any given day is always in the interest of the people. And always in the interest of this party. And make no mistake, we stand solidly in unity in the People's Progressive Party. No sword or swords, as pointed as they want it to be, can ever tear the unity of the People's Progressive Party. So with that, General Secretary, take the ring.
Guyana told us many things. He laid out some of the plans for the future, but he did not answer the most pressing question on the minds of the people. Will there be cash grant after he wins the next election? And the answer is yes. You did not deal with that. Now, the president created the impression that I was keeping him with a rigid timeline. That's not totally true. But we wanted you to go back home early. I think the point has been made already that the PPP is strong, it's united, and it will win the next elections. So I do not want to speak for very long today. I hope that many of you listen to the party's press conference on Thursdays at 2 o'clock, because that's where every single week we lay out our plans for the future and we take on the criticism, the unfair criticism that have been hurled our way. And so today, I just want to say that this is a pivotal year for the future of the country. It is a year in which the decisions that you make would either take us back to incompetence and divisiveness, or to a future, a glorious future of prosperity, unity, and progress. And that's why politics are not won, elections are not won by single speeches. They're won by hard work, and hard work back in the communities from which you've come. Every community in Guyana. And that's why I'm relying on every single one of you to leave with the message that you've heard here, the message that you have lived in the past 4.5 years, what you have seen around you, the commitment to fulfilling the promises that we made in 2020. And we expect you to not only take that message to your neighbors and your communities, but work every single day from now until the elections are called to ensure that the PPP has an overwhelming victory at the next election. This this is my expectation of you. I did not come here to give a long speech or to make, to lay out what we have done. Now, often it seems that we are fighting against an invisible enemy. You don't see the opposition as prevalent as they were before. But do not be deluded. If you grow arrogant and if you don't put in the hard work, we can have surprises. They are invisible. They're not doing much, but quietly they continue to spread the racist messages that they have grown accustomed to using in campaigning. First of all, they're talking to quietly in the communities, saying the PPP is a racist party, and then they're trying to shame Afro-Guyanese who have consciously seen this party as the only party of the future. They're trying to shame them by calling them names to keep them away from us, because they know once we grow stronger in the Afro-Guyanese communities in this country, the PPP becomes even more invincible than we are today. So we have to be cautious about this. We have to ensure that this quiet campaigning doesn't work by exposing them to what they're doing. They call Afro-Guyanese the vilest names. Now, they didn't spare Roger Luncheon or Shirley Edwards or Cyril Belgrave or Clinton Collymore or Philomena Sahai, who were there from the beginning struggling with us. They used to be called those names too. Soup drinkers, all sorts of things, slave catchers, etc. But those people were valuable members of our party. They helped to shape this party. And you know, you've seen it. When you come to the PPP, you see the heart of the PPP. When you listen to Chedi Jagan from the quote of those young people, 1964, the worst year in the history of this country, maybe one of the worst years, because the British had inspired a riot in the country at that time. In the worst year, Chedi Jagan spoke about national unity, the need to bring people together. He spoke about the messages that they carry, that they will go to the Afro-Guyanese communities and say, everything is being done in Indo-Guyanese communities, and they do the same thing in reverse. What happened with the AFC and APNU? In 2015, it was the same message. They go to the Amerindian communities and say, PPP does everything for Afro-Guyanese and Indo-Guyanese, and they're neglected. Then they go to Linden and say, look at Berbice, they get everything, sugar, get all the help, etc., forgetting that we are putting in $5 billion into subsidy in Linden, but they would ignore that. Then they come to Berbice and say, look, they're building a new call center in Linden. They do everything for Afro-Guyanese. Chedi Jagan spoke of that in 1964. They're working up to now with the same playbook. It's predictable what they're doing. And he condemned the racism because he always fought to bring people together. And I must say, today I'm extremely proud. We were always, as General Secretary of this party, we always fought to dispel the rumors that this is a racist party, but that served them well in the past. In opposition, we said, we will change the nature of this party. We're strong in the Indo-Guyanese communities. We're going strong in the Amerindian communities because of the work that we have done. And we will make a dedicated effort to go stronger in the Afro-Guyanese communities. And President Ali, under his leadership, has led since we got into office to ensure that every community is touched. Now everyone has seen this. Every Guyanese, people who supported the PNC because they actually believed that they cared about people. Now those supporters see that they were always making fake promises in the past. They cared about no one but themselves and the leadership. And so people know that this is a trustworthy party. We went to the elections with promises. The children's grant, we did it. The doubling the old age pension. 50,000 households, we were already at 41,000. 20,000 scholarships, we gave out 50,000 scholarships already. 60,000 new jobs. All of these because people are losing jobs in droves. The joint services got back their bonus. We removed the 200 taxes that they had put on people. We put back money into the sugar industry. We removed the 3 taxes they put on the miners. We started getting work back into Region 10 where the 1,000 bauxite workers lost their jobs. You ask the farmers, the rice farmers. Now just this crop we have supported the paddy price. Every group of Guyanese, regardless of their race, have seen that the PPP stands by its word, that our word is our bond. And when we make these promises that President Ali spoke about in the next term, you bet that they will be delivered, that we'd have the best health care in anywhere in the world, because the 12 hospitals that we're building now will hire 8,000 people to make them functional right across this country, including specialists. That every young person can apply for and get a house lot in the next term. And in all the regions, although we have a backlog in Region 4, we'll be able to move faster in the other regions because we've already, this year, the President has given instruction to ensure that that happens, that you're going to get better paying jobs, a world-class education in the next term. The infrastructure that the President spoke of, you'll be able to drive from Molson Creek all the way to the airport on a 4-lane road. You would have a power plant in West Coast that would cut electricity prices by 50% and cooking gas prices by 50%. We're now awarded a $500 million US contract to transmit the power from Wales all the way to Molson Creek so everyone can share the benefits of this country. That's what we're working towards in the next term. You'd have a diversified economy so that even if the oil sector does not contribute massively to national development or oil prices fall, we can maintain the prosperity. You will get your cash grants in the future too, as the President just said. So I can go on. We've defined what has happened. But we've also said we want to define the financial products that you can invest in. So when you get your cash grant in the future, you can put it in an instrument, a financial instrument that the government will create, that it will underwrite. It will give you a guaranteed rate of return than the money if you place it in the bank. All of this will empower people, young people especially, to own things. More and more support for local contractors. We were practically completed almost all the community roads. We have to do the drains. In this region alone, there are 125 community grounds. We are fixing all of them. 22 of those grounds this year will have a lights. In Georgetown, there are 34. We're fixing all of them, and all of them would have lights. And this is the story of the whole country. So, recreation for young people, that's what you're going to look forward to. Safety in your home, because security is important to us. We are now investing in some of the modern technological tools. When the President spoke of a digital society, it is not just to ensure that we can deliver better services to people, like the pensioners could have their pension paid directly into their account. You can sit in your home and open through an app a bank account but also the cameras we're putting up, the intelligence that we're investing in would ensure that we know who is in our country. At any moment, we can track criminals so you can live safely in your own home. Security is an important issue. All of those have started, and just imagine, 4.5 years we've delivered that. We started all of these things, although there was no plan when we got into office, and we did it with COVID. We had to take care of people in COVID. Just imagine the next term in office, how glorious that will be, how inclusive it will be. This is what you can expect of us in the next term in office. So, but we have to be cautious. The APNU AFC, they are weak. I see Nigel Lewis now selling a vehicle. The man posted he's selling 100 CRV on his page. So I said, why would the leader of a political party, although a leader who has no traction whatsoever, sell a vehicle on his party page? Why not get someone else to sell your vehicle? So then, you know what I came up with? This guy is a smart guy. Nobody paying attention to him. He went to Linden and said his ancestors sent him to talk to the people of Linden. The ancestors forget to tell the people to show up to the meeting. They didn't show, nobody showed up. He went to Blackbush Polder recently to talk about rice. So the people, Ramjatan was here to him. The people gave Ramjatan a cussing. They said to him, why are you here now? You're wasting our time. He said, well, it's not me anymore. This is the man, Nigel Lewis. He was the chairman of the AFC when they became the most corrupt party ever in the history of this country, and when they participated with APNU in destroying not only the country, but this very region. The sugar workers and rice farmers. Sugar and rice are the two most important things in this region. When you have an assault on them, you damage the disposable income of the entire region, thereby affecting people's prosperity. We have converted that back. The president laid out the disposable income, the deposits in the banking system, and how those have grown because you have 60,000 people working, but in this region, 10,000 people who are not working in 2020 now have a job because of the People's Progressive Party. So let me tell you what I came up with, why he posted the thing. So they have a hard time attracting people. So he put, you'll get it at a low price. So imagine 10 people hear that and they call. Then they would say, you know, can you join the AFC? It's a gimmick. The man is smart here, fun. This is a smart man. He posts a low price vehicle. The other one posting a high price vehicle that he don't pay taxes on. He pays a low price. He posted a low price vehicle on the page to attract people to come to him. This is what kind of action? These are amateurs. They're not ready for the big league. They don't talk about people. It's their ego. They don't care anything about ordinary people. One wants to avoid sunshine, you want to form a political party. These here will come back to you. You know what? Instead of being repentant, if you're repentant, people might give you a second chance. Look at the court case now going on. They're trying to say that it is PDP that tried to win the 2020 elections, the same Nigel Lewis. They have not moved away from this archaic, this outdated, this useless mentality of trying to steal people's votes, not work for it. We work for people's votes, this party, by fulfilling our promises, by taking care of their children, by taking care of the elderly, by creating jobs. But for them, it is bully people, you call them names, or alternatively steal their votes. That's how they campaign. So, the same people are saying there was a reason why they had to take away the children money, cut the water subsidy from the pensioner, not fulfill any of their promises. You know what was their explanation? the fiscal imperatives. Nigel Hughes and Norton don't have a clue about fiscal imperatives. The fiscal imperatives meant that they were taking the 1.6 billion that was going for the children grant and put it to dietary in government to eat the money up. They took away the 600 million that went to subsidize the water for pensioners, and they put it in buying new vehicles at the office of the president alone. So they had the money because they increased taxes by $90-odd billion, but what did they spend it on? They definitely didn't spend it on roads, hospitals, schools, farm-to-market roads, or anything else. They spent it on themselves. They used the money to send ministers and their families to Ireland for medical care, which we discontinue. They use it to get higher per diem. These are the things. They took a 50% salary increase for themselves the first year they got into office, when the public servants that they love so much got a 6% increase that very year. Since we got into office, public sector workers have seen a $500 million US increase per year in their wages and salaries. And the facts are there. You can examine it. They can't dispute it. So every group has benefited. And therefore, the elections are going to be clearly about who people can trust. So now they're coming up with new promises. The new promises are, we will increase public sector wages by 200%. So we got only about 40% of this budget is funded from oil money. We would like to say that the budget is all oil money. It's not true. 60% of the budget, over 60%, is not funded from oil money. All the oil money in the budget this year can't fund the wages increase that they promised for the public service alone. So if they do that, assuming they do that, they don't have any other money for pensioners, for farmers, for the bauxite workers, anybody else. You can't build roads, you can't build hospitals. This is unsustainable, it's stupid. They operate through slogans. You hear Norton people-centered development? You heard Chetty Jagan in 1993. The young lady spoke about that. People-centered development in practice, because we're trying to give them the things that matter so they can come out of poverty. A good education, solid health care, access to housing, a job, security in their homes. These are important things for everyone, young people and old people alike. And this is what the PDP is about. And that's why we've been so successful. I'm tempted, I said it already, I don't want to speak for long today, because you would have a chance to listen to many Thursdays, to the press conferences, because we're going to, let me tell you, this is a different PDP now. We've grown strong over the years, and we're battle tested. I remember in the days when we were at Ministry of Finance, I was minister under Guyana Guyana, and they burned the building at the back, and we refused to come out of the front building. They blocked the gates, and I had my staff climb over the fence. If Panali might know about one gentleman who was about 400 pounds, he tried to climb over the fence. Not Irfan. It's not Irfan. You see how Irfan looks slim and nice? No, not Irfan. Another one at finance. I don't want to call his name today. And then he got stuck on the fence. And even the protesters started laughing because they blocked the gate. We come from that. When Desmond Hoyt used to put 5,000 people on the streets in a single moment, they thought they supported the criminals in Buxton to wreak havoc on the country. They tried rigging elections. They sought to use the courts to thwart the will of the people in the last elections. But we are resilient strong party, and we've grown in breadth and depth. We've grown in support. As we said before, Irfan said, it's not a Hindu party, it's not a Muslim party, it's not a Christian party. It's a party of Hindus, Muslims, and Christians, and everyone else. It's not an Indian party, African party, Amerindian mixed people party. It's a party of everyone, all of them together. And that's an instruction from Chedi Jagan, who we're celebrating here. That's what he fought for all of his life. And so it warms my heart now to see people of every race who never wanted to come to Freedom House in Georgetown because they thought we used to kill people of different races there. That's what the rumor they spread about us. Come there now. They've seen the heart of this party. You're part of this family once you come to us. And when you work for the future of the country, and because we're embracing everyone, because we're inclusive, that's why elections in the future are going to be won by the PPP. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. They can come up with anything. They can put Norton as a candidate. They can put Truckman as a candidate. I don't know where he is now. Well, what Nigel Hughes. They put another Elson Lowe, whatever. So they can put anybody except God, because God is sacred. But anybody else we could beat. Anybody else except God, we can beat that they put. They can put everyone that they want there. So when they monkey around, oh, we're forming a coalition again. A coalition for what? Losing the elections? A coalition for what? What are you going to tell people? You're unrepentant. You harass them. You took away benefits from them. And now you're going to, we love you again because election time come around. You think they're going to be fooled by these wild promises? Nonsense. Pure nonsense. People know their number already. So when they come around, smile with them, be nice to them and say, go away from here, boy. And some of them believe your Facebook like, because a man click on your like, they like some vehicle, then they're going to vote for you. You don't have a clue about anything. Clueless. And they would vote for you. If that was the case, Critic would have been the biggest politician and political party in the country. Because he getting click every day. People like the entertainment, the joke. Some like the cussing. We don't endorse cussing and stuff like that. But anything. But this is how they operate. The people are smart. Yesterday, I had several community meetings. And I was saying to people, at 11:30 we started in the day, a hot Saturday when people have to go to market. And we had crowds at every 1 hour meeting. Which political party can hold a meeting at 11:30 in the day and get people? They don't get it even in the afternoon when people are retired. This is a strength, and it comes from what we stand for. We stand for enduring principles. We stand for national unity. We stand for progress. We stand for bringing people together. We have a vision of the future that's clearly outlined. No other party has a vision of the future. If you don't have a vision, you don't know where you want to take the country, you can't have supported policies and programs. They don't have a single plan for anything in any sector. You talk to Irfan Ali or any minister, we can outline all of our plans here, today, now. We don't have to go and look for a textbook or come up with, we're going to be working on one in the future. That is how we approach it. So, for all of those NGOs type who are haters of the PPP, the GHRA, the GT, the Transparency Institute, the Red Threads, etc. They never know who fought for freedom in this country. They never one day went to Linden or Aishalton to talk to people or come to Port Morant. They don't come out. They sit in Georgetown in a single office. They get money from abroad. and they get publicity in Starbuck News and some other papers, right? And they write editorials there. And they judge the country. They talk about fighting for democracy and principles, but they all stayed quiet when APNU was rigging or trying to rig the elections in 2020. You know who mattered to us? It's the activists who stood up. We people who stood with us, who guarded the containers to ensure that APNU couldn't steal the containers or damage them. It's the young men and women and the not so young from Region 5 who have pellets in their bodies, 80-something pellets in their bodies, who stood up and confronted the PNC when they tried to rig the elections. You think we would worry about what they say and the press association or whatever with the haters of the PPP? That's why you have to be dismissive of them. They would say, Jagdeo cussing the NGOs. Well, yes, I'm cussing them. It's these NGOs we're cussing. Not the ones that support progress. The ones that work with children, they've seen their subvention grow by 5-fold since we got into office. The one that work with farmers or people to educate them, they can get support from us, the NGOs. But these haters of the PPP, we will fight them. So when we fight, they say, oh, the PPP is too aggressive. Well, if you come after us, as I said before, we're going to defend our legacy. We're going to strongly defend our legacy. Don't come after us. Don't come after us and they misrepresent us if you don't want to get the response. Because gone are the days when they control everything and lied about us. That is what kept this country divided a long time. These naysayers, every day, every single day they're at it, because they are as worried as the APNU and AFC about national unity. Because if there is national unity, there is no space for them. They can't collect money from abroad to create dissent among our people. That is an important thing. So when you're going to see tomorrow, they're going to do 2 editorials. I don't care. We're going to defend our party. We're going to defend the ordinary people of this country. We're going to create opportunities for the business community, for young people, for workers, for everyone. We're an all-inclusive party, every class, every race, every religion, every gender. That's what makes us strong. And so I wanted you to go back home early. It's Ramadan too. Many of you have to break fast. And please tune in on Thursday. Let's continue the conversation. We have a young leader who will be contesting the next election again. And you compare him with the others, God, it's like comparing a giant with nothing. He is proficient in every area. He represents us at the United Nations with distinction. He deals cleverly to keep our borders intact in dealing with the Venezuelan matter. He is laid out, he knows the details of development program. He's a people's person. You don't got no sour face all the time, like some of them have. And he's smart. He can string 2 words together. He can string more than 2 words together. That is the man who will be leading the biggest slate of candidates. Thank you very much.